Hello everyone, and thank you so much for coming back and joining me for another Retro Fridays. I absolutely love doing these, and I know yous all look really forward to them, so thank you so much for that. I just wanted to say as well, I'm as random as you're going to get them, as yous all know. So I thought I would stand up, hopefully yous will be able to see it properly. It's of Jack, of course, from Nightmare Before Christmas, and it says on it, "If they only understood." And of course, as you can tell by the title, and of course my thumbnail, that we are going to be talking tonight about the awesome classic Nightmare Before Christmas. And I watch this movie on the 1st of November every year. You can let me know down below. I know a lot of people watch it on Halloween, but to me I see this like more Christmassy. I don't know, in my opinion I prefer like get Halloween out of the way, and I always watch this on the 1st of November every year. And I also wanted to show you, I'm so random guys, and then I promise we're going to get on with this. This is like a little hanging decoration. I actually bought this in the Disney store where I live, and it lights up here. It's just like in the movie of Jack and Zero. It's literally just like he came out, this ornament just came out of the movie. And also I wanted to show, I have this Nightmare Before Christmas mug. It's like a really tall mug. It's really cool. And also this is you call this Disney traditions, sorry, and I actually have quite a few Disney traditions, like Tinkerbell, like Disney princesses that my boyfriend gets me, but this is actually it's pretty much like a book, and it has Jack and Sally at the top. I hope you can see this okay, and then pumpkins with snow on it at the bottom, and then of course Zero with the graveyards and everything. And it says at the back, Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Have my notes with me as always, because no, even though I've did like hundreds of videos guys, I genuinely get so nervous when I sit down and press record. I'm always like kind of confident beforehand, but then when I press record it's just like, oh no, the camera's rolling, this is going on YouTube, this is going anyways, right? And also, sorry guys, I forgot to show you, my boyfriend got me this Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like a necklace, but it's also like a little clock as well. But definitely getting on with this review. So, of course this movie was produced by Tim Burton, and it was directed by Henry Selick. And the thing is, like, a lot of people think that it was just like Tim Burton directed it, Tim Burton produced it, but yeah, he did produce it, but obviously, you know, Henry Selick actually directed the movie. And what the thing is with this movie is it would have been beyond monotonous, you know, the things they would have had to go through, and the art and the determination that they would have had to put in would have been absolutely crazy in order to make this movie to be released into the world for all of us to be able to view on, depending on your choice, either be it Halloween or Christmas, or maybe you just watched it any time of the year. You can, you know, let me know. To me, it's a film that I don't think personally should ever be remade. You can let me know if you would like it to be remade, but I don't think Disney should go, oh, I want to make this, you know, the way Disney wants to release everything and put their hands on claws on paws on anything. I don't think they should. That's my opinion. To me, it was unique. To me, it was done so well, and I don't think that it should be remade again. You know, the music was brilliant. The story was great, was really creative, and that's the thing. You know, Tim Burton has such, you know, a fantastic imagination, and I thought it was a really creative sort of story because, you know, you had, you know, the whole Halloween town, you also had Christmas town as well, and, you know, the story of where Jack wanted to, you know, take over Christmas basically, and I personally think that that's a pretty creative story in my opinion anyways. And I think all the characters in this are absolutely fantastic. You know, characters like Boogeyman and things like that. You know, I loved all the scenes with Boogeyman. I thought it was, you know, really cool, and the song and everything, you know, really sort of groovy. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't have any issue with any of the characters or anything in this movie. I like all the characters, like the story, like the music, and I love how the movie was so dark, you know, especially like Halloween Town and things like that, like scenes and everything. But then you also had, you know, it was also really colourful side to it as well because of the colours, you know, in Christmas Town. And what I loved was in Christmas Town, you know, like the snow, which of course you see a lot throughout the movie, so of course you know what I mean, like by the snow. But it was just super, how they done it was just super, like, it looked really, like, it was really, I'm awful for like glistening, you know, very sparkly and glistening. I really loved it. Say though is does Tim Burton have like some sort of like thing for, you know, dead dogs? And I don't mean to sound funny, because you have Scraps, which was the dog that was, you know, the way in Corpse Bride, the movie Corpse Bride, Tim Burton done. I actually have a t-shirt of Corpse Bride, I love it. But there was that dog, right? And then with this dog, which is Zero, and I absolutely love how his little nose lights up and everything in the movie. I just love Zero, he's so cute. And then we also had Sparky from Frankenweenie. My boyfriend actually has a little teddy bear of Sparky. I actually got him it for Halloween last year because it's like one of his favourite Halloween movies. But anyways, yeah, so you have all those dead dogs. Like, I'm just wondering, does, you know, maybe, you know, is there so, I'm just like joking around, but you know, what's with the dead dogs? What is with the dead dogs? Every year, although I've watched this movie, Nightmare Before Christmas, you know, I watch it every year, obviously, right? But you know when Jack is standing and he's looking at all, you know, all the different trees and everything, and you see the one with the Christmas tree. And although I've seen it, I watch this every year, I still always like think, go Jack, go on, go into Christmas time, go to the tree with the Christmas tree. I'm like, but Julie, you know he goes to the tree with the Christmas tree on it and he goes into it. Like, so what do you do? Like, I'm a freaking weirdo, honest to goodness. But anyways, and then seconds after he arrives in Christmas Town, I absolutely love, my favourite song in this is What's This? What's This? What's This? It's definitely my favourite. Absolutely. So you can let me know what your favourite song is in this film as well. And I love, you know, the snowman that Jack jumps into. And I was so disappointed because, like, last year, I was like, because my boyfriend absolutely loves Night Before Christmas. And his favourite's Jack. And I was trying to bid on, I did bid about 3 or 4 times on, like, a little snow globe of that exact snowman with Jack's face and his arms and everything, and the little umbrella, and the snow and everything was inside like a stomach, like, you know, a snow globe. And I didn't win the bid. Somebody like came in like the last second, got it as usual on eBay, you know. But anyways, I don't know why I brought that up, but I just thought I would randomly say. But anyways, but one of my favourite scenes, it probably is, actually, yeah, it would probably be my all-time favourite scene from this whole entire movie. I would love to know down in the comments section, or you can let me know if you're watching this as a premiere, as and when I upload this, if not, comment section afterwards, what your favourite scene is. But mine is definitely when Jack is laying in his bed and the fire and everything's just like right behind him lit, and it's just like really like a really, you know, warm, cozy feel, and really hits the Christmas vibes, you know, makes you feel really, you know how you think of Christmas, think like warm, snuggly, cozy and everything, you know? So, yeah, and then, you know, the Christmas tree and everything's lit at the bottom of his bed, and wee little Zero and everything's lying beside the Christmas tree in his wee bed. It's cute, it's cozy, it's Christmassy, and I absolutely love it. I just think that seems really, really awesome. So yeah, it's my favourite. But one thing I really love about it, and it is a quick shot, but there's like a shot of like a big massive black spider web with a big spider, but there's like little lights, Christmas lights or whatever on the web, and I don't know, it's like it's really cool that that's sort of incorporated into it as well. You know, along with, you know, the whole Christmassy sort of thing. So yeah, and of course, as I was saying, I absolutely love the scenes with Boogeyman. Like, I think that's really cool, like the way they had like the bright lighting and everything, even though it was sort of dark. Really, really cool. And the scene with Sally, where she comes in to try and capture, you know, Santa Claus. I just think that's a really, really cool scene, the way they shot that with her. And the music, I have to talk about the music. How can I not talk about the music? Of course the music's done by the legendary Danny Elfman. You know the music's done by Danny Elfman when it's a freaking let's just face it, he does all the classics. 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. He does all the classics. And of course, you know, I have spoke about Danny Elfman before on Retro Fridays, actually, because of course, for one of my Retro Fridays, I did Evil Dead. The awesome Evil Dead movies. And of course, you know, Danny Elfman did the theme tune for The Simpsons, which I know I mentioned on that video. But you know, he does all the classic movies, and he did the music for this. And a really cool, you know, fun fact, because on my DVD there is actually, you know, like a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that I really think's really cool to watch. So if you have, I think, yeah, mine's a special edition one, but I'm sure you'll be able to find this on YouTube or whatever. But I just thought it was really cool information to share with you, is that, you know, they hadn't really, in the very beginning stages, they didn't really have like a script per se written. So Danny Elfman was sort of like saying, you know, it was funny because, you know, they would have had to come to me, like, you know, Tim Burton or whatever, or Henry Selick would have came to me and sort of been like, right, okay, so we've written this sort of part of a scene, sorry, and then they would have said, you know, it's kind of about this and this, or he said literally he would have just pulled out a page with literally like scraps of paper of, you know, little, you know, drawings and everything to give him, you know, somewhat a rundown of a small idea of what the scene was about. And then he said he would have went away, you know, started on his piano and, you know, wrote a piece of music, but then, you know, he would have sort of been sitting waiting, you know, for them to come and say, okay, we have another scene here, and then kind of it was kind of written as and when they had the scenes written for him to move forward with the music. And I think that's really pretty freaking funny, like, if you ask me anything, and I think that's really interesting. Something that I really love and I thought was just so smartly done was there was actually nods to other Tim Burton classic movies, such as, you know, the snake that's in the Nightmare Before Christmas. You'll notice it, you know, when you watch it, if you're watching it this year. That's pretty much, you know, a nod, reference to Beetlejuice, and then also the little yellow duck that's in this movie, and that's of course, you know, reference to, you know, the big yellow duck that Danny DeVito, who plays Penguin in Batman Returns, which I cannot wait to watch. I love that freaking movie. Is on that duck, so of course that's from Batman Returns, and I don't know, I just think that that's really super cool. As I was saying earlier, a massive amount of monotonous work that went into this. Proof of that is it took 100 people to actually work on this movie for it to actually be made, and this was done over 3 years. Like, that is a massive amount of time. And if you think of it, of course, you know, this was done by using stop motion, and like stop motion, you know, hats off to any company that uses stop motion, because it must be so difficult. And I really appreciate movies that go out of their way to, you know, work to perfection, work all night of the freaking gosh darn hours, and actually want to create something that is perfect, and, you know, that takes so much time, and like, it's just so, you know, they really did craft for this movie. There's no way in any way, shape or form there was any, you know, shortcuts, you know, there really wasn't. And yeah, I mean, stop motion, I think I really have a massive appreciation for stop motion. That's just my opinion. And they actually had to use 230 different sets. 230 sets. And parts, what they done was really like cool and genius, was they had parts that you could actually kind of like take off each set, so you could actually sort of move it around, you know, sort of like to help with room and things like that. And on the sets they used like clay or plaster or whatever, and then they would have like, you know, like sort of, how would you sort of put it, like scored lines in the clay, so that it made it look things look more real and realistic to us as the viewer watching this movie. And, you know, when you watch it, you really do see that, you know, that's really obvious within the movie, and I think that's, you know, fantastic. You know, no details too small. That's kind of like the way, you know, that they looked at it, was like, we have to get every detail right. And even they were saying like the colour palette, they were very specific on the colour palette and everything they used. So everything, you know, just went really well for the movie. And the thing as well was, when I was watching the behind the scenes stuff, that I was like, wow, that would be beyond frustrating. Like, seriously, the guy was saying that, you know, when they were filming, basically, even if the lighting slightly dropped, or even one of the cameras even dropped slightly, like they used like sometimes 20 to 30 lights on just one set that they were filming, and if that had happened, you know, the light slipped or the camera slipped even ever so slightly, then that would have affected, you know, the whole thing that they had just, you know, part that they had just recorded. So they would then have to most of the time go back and re-record that, because, you know, it would have been noticed to us, you know, when we watched it. So I think that's fantastic. And you're not just talking about, you know, a 5-10 minute scene, you're talking something that with stop motion, you know, even just moving Jack's hand from say here to here, or, you know, whatever, that would take like ages, honestly. So to redo a specific scene could have, not, you're not talking hours, you're maybe talking not only days, maybe say weeks. Wow, you know what, like, you know, people who have that kind of dedication on movies, that's exactly why this gosh darn movie is so freaking well good, in my opinion. But one of the most, I think this is my most like favourite fact, like fun thing, cool thing about this whole movie, sort of behind the scenes, is that they actually had a box of 400 different heads. I don't know why I'm showing you this as an example. You know what Jack's head looks like, right? Shut up, Jillian, just move on with your Retro Friday. But they had 400 different heads, just the head of Jack. Now, I'm not talking about like other characters, just literally this character Jack, right? 400 different heads, because they would have had a different head for, say, like, you know, different syllables or whatever. So say he was like, had syllables, but he was maybe like sad, or he's looking happy or whatever, frowning, then they would have still had to use a different head, even if he was saying the same thing. Do you know what I mean? So like they would have had to go to so much like, okay, what head will we use now for this sentence? Oh, let's take off his head, put on another head. Like, wow, that is amazing. And as well, this fact isn't actually as exciting as, you know, the whole Jack thing, I think. Well, personally, that's my favourite thing. But they used 60 different individual puppets. But they also had to use 3 to 4 different ones for each of those puppets when they were filming. So altogether, they had like 200 puppets. What are you talking about? That isn't even a word, Jilly. What are you talking about? This is how nervous I get when I'm doing my videos. That it's literally just like, shh. It's okay, Jilly, calm down. It's only a phone. It's only, you know. Never mind, shush, Jilly. You know, work with me, guys. Shush. So yeah, like 200 puppets in total. I'm just gonna leave it in, you know. Let you laugh at me at how ridiculous I am and how silly I am and how terrible I am at making YouTube videos, guys. I am so sorry. Try to get better, Jilly. Try to get better. So, just in general, guys, I love this movie. It gets me in the Christmas feels. To me, this just isn't a Halloween movie for me at all. It's not. I would never watch it at Halloween. It has to be 1st of November. Or forget about it. Forget about it. Although I haven't said that, doing this video tonight has really made me want to watch it tomorrow. So I'm going to say to my boyfriend tomorrow, does he want to, you know, maybe tomorrow night or something, get like a cup of tea or something, get the fire lit and maybe like watch it again. I don't think he's going to say no because he really loves the movie, do you know what I mean? But anyways, I love the ending, and to me this, you know, it's a must watch. I would find it hard to believe if someone tried to tell me they hadn't seen The Nightmare Before Christmas. But there's, you know, if you haven't, you know, you might want to speak to someone and ask them if you can borrow their DVD, because I'm sure you have a friend or a family member that has it, or, you know, go online and try your best to get it, even if it's, you know, secondhand or whatever, because I tell you what, you have to watch it, and try and watch it before Christmas Day, because it's a movie that you have to experience in life. If you haven't experienced it, then oh my goodness, it's a life experience that you need to go through in your lifetime. And also, I love the ending, you know, with Sally, you know, just sitting there in the snow, and, you know, Jack walks up to her and everything, and they're both singing, you know, We're Simply Meant to Be. And I just absolutely love that. Like, those two characters at the end, like, it's so sweet. And that's why I absolutely love this, because that's literally that scene on this. And my, maybe, is it the lighting? I don't know, guys. Hopefully you can see this okay. But yeah, and I forgot to say, like, I love as well the way she's sitting at the top on the snow, and she's got this like flower, black flower or whatever, and she's going like, you know, pretty much like, he loves me not. You know, you kind of do that with, I used to do that when I was really, really young with like daisies, and be like, he loves me not. He loves me not. What? Why did I do? Anyways, but yeah, my favourite characters are definitely Jack and Zero. I don't know, I just think Zero's so cute with this little lit up, like, little nose. And I just think he's so cool and very weirdly unique, if that makes sense as well. But adorable, strangely. I don't know. But yeah, I must look into that. Does Tim Burton have some weird fixation with dead dogs? I don't know, guys. But you know what? Thank you so much for coming along and, you know, joining me. I actually have more Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, and I am a massive Tim Burton fan. You have no idea. I actually have 2 bed covers. One's actually on my bed at the moment. I actually got it for specifically for over Halloween sort of time, and then I also have one that's more kind of like Christmassy, and on one side where Michael sleeps, it's like Jack, and then on my side it's Sally, and then the other set it's just like Jack and Sally for both pillowcases. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. But anyways, yeah, we both love Nightmare Before Christmas. So I really hope that you enjoyed this Retro Friday, and I'm really excited for next week. I have a couple of different ideas, but I will just surprise you next week, and I really hope that you like this pick for this week. I thought it was perfect because it's November, and yes, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I'm sorry it was a bit of a mess up. I'm all over the place. It's late at night, and not only that, I am so nervous when I do videos, honestly. Anyhow, thank you so much, and I honestly massively appreciate the support from the bottom of my heart, all the way from Ireland. Thank you for every single thing you do, whether you watch my videos, whether you share my videos, anything that you do at all, I appreciate so much. I really genuinely do. What would be the point of me coming on doing these videos if I didn't have all of you lovely friends to hang out with and leave lovely comments? And I have to say I'm really blessed with subscribers, because I don't really get that many people coming on and saying nasty things, and if it is, I know it's not from you guys. I know it's just from random people, but I have to say some people do get it bad, from viewers coming on. But honestly, I am so blessed. I have like the nicest subscribers, so I'm really lucky. So thank you very much for that. And yes, I will see you next week as usual for Retro Fridays. But other than that, thank you very much. And until my next video, do not forget that the force will be with you always. Bye guys.